Hi, folks. Welcome back to another episode of Finding Data Friends, where we have, in fact, found another data friend. Paulien, thanks for joining us today on the podcast. How are you doing and who are you?
Yeah, thank you for having me. My name is Paulien and I'm living in the beautiful city of Gouda, which some of you probably know as Gouda, the city of cheese. Um, I live here on my own in my apartment. I'm currently 26 years old. I just turned 26 last week. So
Happy belated
going,
birthday.
thank you.
Yes, happy
Going
belated
to the
birthday.
30s. Oh no. But yeah, in my spare time, I like to go on bike rides. I have a lot of plants, so I take care of my plants all the time, and I also like to how do you say this? Propagate it. So I have
Mm.
baby plants and more baby plants, and then you have too many plants. Uh, and When I'm not doing that, I'm probably working. I work full time at a IT consultancy um, in various roles. I joined there actually as a Power BI consultant or Power BI specialist right after university. But now I'm actually also starting to learn everything about data engineering. Combining both roles at the moment in my day-to-day life.
Wow, that's a lot.
I think there is one question that we need to ask that everyone out there is just, they need to know. How are you monitoring all these plans? Is there any automation happening? Or is that like
Well,
all manual labor?
it's all manual labor.
Ah,
I do not have an Excel sheet tracking all plans how they are doing. No, I'm not that much controlling, but I walk past or I walk by them at least once a day to check on them. Some, unfortunately, are a bit dying, so they need some extra care. But others are doing fine.
all of my plants that I've ever tried to look after have needed a little extra care, and it's not gone well.
Then you just
Well,
buy new ones, and no one
Oh, okay,
notices.
perfect.
I was going to say what Jess means by a little extra care is somebody else to take care of them.
Yes, that's true.
Mm.
Or some kind of sensors, so they take care of themselves.
Well, then
Or
if you
just
buy a
plastic plants.
cactus, if you buy a cactus, you should be fine then.
I've killed a
Okay,
cactus
we'll try
before
it.
by putting too much water on it. So, but then again, that was a long time ago
Aw.
We'll try again.
at some point.
Maybe you could get one behind your setup, and we could keep an eye on it for you.
Oh, that's a good idea. Oh.
I
That's
will
what that's
think
what you
about
need. Some little shelves with plants.
I do have a lot of plants over here, but you don't see them.
Yeah, it's easy to pretend that because we will
Yeah.
never know if it's actually true. But well, we'll take your word for it. We will take your word for it, just because we're very trusting people.
Ben has an elephant just over here, but we can't see it. So
Oh yeah, which is, I mean, it's super cool riding that elephant to work every morning. And since
Yeah.
I've got an entire herd of elephants here, I just got delivered the other day. I can basically pick another elephant to ride to work every single day, which is super cool.
Well, I used to have a rubber duck next to me, so I could explain the duck what I was doing during university, because coding was not my best subject. So the duck learned me a lot of things.
it's a good technique for sure. Okay, so first thing on the podcast, once we get through the introductions, our first question is, what is your favorite data thing?
Yeah, I actually had to think about that one for a while because my background is in data science. Then I became a Power BI specialist, grew from junior to now meteor, senior, whatever you want to call it. And now I'm also learning everything about data engineering. And I'm like, what should I choose? But I am the problem solving kind of person. And especially looking at Power BI, the Dux Studio will always be my favorite tool to use to solve all my problems. Well, not all my problems. I still have to solve them myself, of course, but to investigate why things are going wrong. So that's what I still use a lot of the times. Yeah.
Cool.
It's one of the tools that I don't think I have ever used. How about you,
No?
Jess?
Nope. Nope.
As you may
Never
have also
opened
figured
it.
out at this point, neither Jess nor myself are exactly Power BI people.
Yeah, that's where it goes wrong. No, it's what I use. Of course, Power BI has these limitations, for example, in terms of data model size or the performance is not that well of certain reports. And this tool gives me a lot of insight in what column is using the most space or which tables are taking the most space. Could we maybe convert a column from string to integer? How would that impact our data model size? That kind of insights you can get via that tool and not necessarily with Power BI Desktop or Tabular Editor or any other tool. So yeah, it's trying to minimize your data model such that it fits in the 1 GB data set limitation you have. Yeah, and that's always a puzzle, and I like puzzles, so
Perfect. That's cool.
I saw Jess getting like, oh, hang on, data types, performance. Now I'm interested again. So
well, it's kind of funny actually because these things I know by heart, like how to build a very efficient Power BI data model in Power BI. I know what I need to request from engineers in order to make the model perform as best as it can. But now I am the data engineer at my one of the clients. I am a data engineer, and there you actually still see that we are delivering data marts there for Power BI, and that this knowledge is sometimes missing. So I actually am reusing this knowledge from the Power BI side into the data engineering side, which is quite helpful actually.
Yeah, it's always good to have a bit more of like a understanding of like the adjacent technologies of what you're working on, right? Because it does always come back to the same things that you've learned just next door. That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
and that's again not just a Power BI specific issue. I mean, taking that very simple, in theory, example of data types, seeing how very little thought many people put into data types, or maybe not the everything is a varchar max extreme, but even above that, yeah, this will always be a 1 or a 0. I mean, let's go with a big int because why not,
Just in
etc.
case.
Just in case it becomes a 2 at some point, because a 2 is a rather big number. I mean, it's like having 2 elephants. They use a lot of space. So
Yeah.
I also think an
Double one
elephant should be
elephant.
like a data type in standard by default.
What
It's an
data type
interesting
would you
theory.
be? What data type would you be in your day-to-day life?
I would probably be a JSON or XML data type.
Ooh. Complicated.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. People are really struggling to understand and make a sense of what I'm doing, but somewhere
But you're
underneath a
doing it
bunch of
good.
layers, it is there. Oh, I like that. That
New
should be
t-shirt
another
idea.
T-shirt. Exactly.
We are going to need to start our own t-shirt company at this point with the number of t-shirt ideas you're pumping out.
Hi, I'm Ben. My pronouns are he and him, and my data type is XML.
That is a perfect t-shirt. I love
I'm
that.
on it. I'm on it. Cool. Anyways, sometimes we have these rabbit holes. I don't know how that's happening. Also, somebody please.
Sometimes.
I mean, sometimes over the course of every single episode.
Right.
Anyways, when you're not optimizing Power BI models and not data engineering and not using DAX Studio, Pauline, is there anything maybe besides your plans, or maybe it is your plans? See, that you would say that is your favorite non-data thing or feature? Almost something like a hobby.
Yeah,
I think
well,
that that's what a
plants
hobby
take
is.
a lot of time, so that's at least one of my hobbies. But as I mentioned, I like to go on bike rides or race bike rides specifically. I do not really like my city bike, so when I'm biking, I am on the race bike. I used to do, or I'm doing that for a couple of years already, but it goes a bit up and down in terms of how many times I bike a week because of the weather. If it's raining, I'm not biking. If it's too windy, I'm also not biking. Um, but I am thinking about buying a piano again. I
Mm.
used to play piano when I was in high school, but I'm really, yeah, thinking about buying one again to, yeah,
I love
Amazing.
it when a
play
plan
some
comes
music
together.
again. So that will probably take a lot of my time as well. So for now, it's not yet a hobby, but I foresee in the future that that's what I will do. What That's what I will be doing quite often. Um, I used to knit for a while as well. I was not very good at it, so my mother taught me how to make like certain, yeah, how do you call them? Stitches. And now I'm just doing that whilst I'm watching like a series or a movie. And yeah, what do I do more? I drink a, I drink a lot of beer. That doesn't sound very good.
Perfect.
On the weekends, I might drink a beer or two, or wine, or anything else. Just in general, when I'm with friends during the weekend, there's probably some beer involved. Um, so I also have in my how do you say that? In my storage, I have a lot of beer bottles. Or beer I still would like to try. So I think the coming month I will have enough beer to keep myself busy.
Perfect. Let's not combine these hobbies, okay? Of beer drinking and needles and of knitting needles and then race bikes.
I was going to say also not the bike riding. The beer slash wine and piano thing, I can see that going along quite nicely.
Yeah, I think I would even play better because then you're not thinking so
Yeah.
much
So the
about
thing
it.
is,
You're
you would
just
probably
playing.
think so. Not everyone around you might agree.
You're like, I am crushing this.
Yeah, I do live in an apartment complex, so
Ah,
mm, no.
perfect.
Are you
Yes.
even allowed to ride bike drunk officially?
Probably not recommended. So you said race bike. Do you race in competitions and stuff or just
No.
go as fast as you can?
I call myself a fast biker.
Okay.
So I'm not doing the sport or anything in an official way. It's more like a hobby. I think, like everyone during Corona time, you were looking for something to do. I used to go to the gym every other day, so biking became my new sport. And now that we can go to the gym, I still like to go on bike rides. So
Cool. Awesome.
Okay.
yeah, and my bike is pink. My outfit is pink. I'm like fully embracing that I'm a woman on a bike.
I like
Like
it.
we rent out.
Very
All
cool.
this talking about biking makes me hungry.
Hungry or
Yes.
hangry.
Well,
Well,
potentially both. Let's
yeah.
see.
Hungry to
Let's
start with.
see.
So
You're asking the question, Jess. You're asking the
yeah, I
question.
know. I was trying to find a segue and I was just like, okay,
I
so what
thought
do
I
you want
just
to make us
gave you
for
the
dinner?
segue.
You served it up and I missed it. I was like, so you may have noticed that we occasionally kidnap people. Sometimes they just get into the van voluntarily, and we're not sure whether you're making the meal or just bringing the meal. But what's your favorite food? What do you want to make? What do you want to eat with us?
Or what do we just have to get ourselves? I mean, at this point, that might even be an option.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
because my favorite food is not that original. It's sushi. But I
Ooh,
also discovered that I'm not that good at making sushi. So if I eat sushi, it's either ordering or going to a restaurant. So if I would cook for you, it would probably not be that. But then I would just order something and bring it with me and then act like
totally
I made
perfect.
it for you.
Entirely acceptable. Also,
I love sushi.
I was going to say I love sushi. I also love cooking, but I don't like making sushi
Yeah,
because it's the time and honestly also money that you have to invest into making proper sushi. I get way better sushi from a sushi place at probably less money.
yeah. And it's
But the
fiddly too, right? And to get it to look so
yeah,
perfect, and then
exactly.
mine would be just like a pile of ingredients.
And then the
Yeah.
other thing is when I'm having sushi, I don't want to have like 10 times basically the same roll. So I want to have some of these and some of those.
Yeah, yeah,
And yeah,
yeah.
that makes the entire shopping, preparing, etc. part not super
Very
effective.
true.
So
Very true.
we're ordering sushi. That works for me.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good.
Perfect.
No, and when I try to make it at home, it's usually not sushi rolls, but it's just like a pokeball and act
Ooh, yeah.
like it's sushi. But it's not a real deal. But
It's still a great alternative, especially considering all those negative side effects of making sushi yourself.
yeah.
It's kind of like whenever I make an omelet, I start off making an omelet and then it's the scrambled eggs by the time I get to the serving of the omelet, right? This will be the same for me with sushi. I think I'd be like, oh, I'm making sushi. Nope, it's a pokeball.
I mean, then again,
Scrap that.
what's the difference between an omelet and a scrambled egg? I mean,
In your belly, nothing. Looks
exactly.
exactly the same in there.
There is that. I mean, even on the plate, the difference is, I'm going to say neglectable.
Agreed.
I would say that there is a slight difference between like a super fancy sushi roll and a poke bowl that is just leftovers. But then again, semantics, potatoes,
Yeah.
potatoes. And we're not going to have potato sushi, just for the record.
I've had a sweet potato one before. It was like tempura sweet potato inside the roll.
Oh.
I can, but then again, you're more having tempura with. I mean, I like tempura sushi with all kinds of tempura. It doesn't matter if it's some kind of fish, if it's prawns, or if it's some kinds of vegetables. But still, the star of that show is not the sushi anymore. Also, you would usually not dip that into soy sauce, but into something more hearty and all that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm not saying it's not yummy. I'm just saying
Wait, I've got another idea.
yes.
Isn't there a burrito where they put French fries in the burrito?
Yes, that's
potato.
California style.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I thought it was called that. And then I was like doubting myself. Okay, well, what about California style sushi rolls where there's French fries in the sushi?
Okay.
Well, in
No.
the Netherlands, you
No.
do have a snack called the frikandel. Not sure if it's translatable into something, but it's leftover meat, let's call it, in a sausage. And they put that in sushi in some restaurants.
Sausage sushi.
Yeah, or also like the sushi with cheese, etc. I do live in a city of cheese, but I don't like cheese, so
Oh, no. How did you end up living there?
yeah, I'm wondering myself sometimes. But it's also the city of stroopwafels.
Oh, I love
like the
stroopwafels.
cookies, so
Now we're talking.
it balances each other out.
Okay.
Definitely.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Let's never ever talk about leftover meat in sushi again, please. Just because.
Okay.
Meh.
Add that to the checklist.
Will do. What's your favorite food? And if it's leftover meat sushi,
Out.
exactly.
You cannot be a data friend.
There is that.
This is a very inclusive community, but not for you.
Exactly. We're friends with everyone except you're special. Paulien, before we let you go, any upcoming events that you will be attending or speaking at?
Yeah, actually, two. In September, I'm going to Power BI Next Step.
You mean you will have been at Power BI Next Step in September, yes?
Before your birthday.
I have been to Paulien Next Step last
How
week.
was
and the week
it?
before.
Did you have a good time?
And then next week, I will be going to Data Mines in Mechelen. I will be
Amazing.
speaking at both conferences. And Next Step, I was on my own. But in Mechelen, in Belgium, I will be speaking with a friend and also colleague together. So,
Awesome.
really looking forward to that.
So
Cool.
I see you in 3 days in Mechelen, where they also have beer, from what I hear.
Yeah. Are you there
Perfect.
on Sunday as well?
Then I will see you Sunday. Then I will see you 2 days from now. And with that, thank you so much for joining. This was fun, except for the meat sushi part again. Ugh, yuck.
We'll cut that out.
Yeah, I think we have to, because Geneva Convention and stuff. There's just stuff that you can't even talk about. Anyways, again, thank you for joining us. This was fun. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, everybody. And we see you all next week on the next episode. Bye.
Bye, folks.
Bye bye.